Welcome to Metrics. In this chapter, we'll talk about how to use the powerful static metrics tools to define the metrics you want to use to evaluate experiments. From the last chapter, we learned how to set up metric sources, which connected a few tables with a few columns. Then, we can go to the metrics catalog, which is a semantic layer that tells us how to filter and aggregate our data source. This helps separate the source data from the definition, so it's easier for stakeholders to understand the lineage and definition of the metrics from the UI. Statsig supports most common aggregation methods, from the basic ones such as count, sum, mean, and user count, to the advanced ones such as ratio and funnel. We also provide different sources, different filters, and different metadata to break down the metrics. Let's go to the details. Let's start by defining a basic count matrix. For people who are familiar with SQL, this will just be like select count star from the data source with some optional filters. So count the number of rows in this table that pass certain filters you defined. To do that, select the metric source, which is the table, and we can add some filters. For example, I want to filter where page is any of these two pages. Also, I can use metadata columns to define breakdowns. Basically, we are creating sub-metrics. In this case, we'll create the page loads for different pages and page loads for different product categories. If I look at page loads and check where it is used, I see an experiment I'm interested in, the large language model test. I click the link to jump to the experiment, see the metrics indeed used in this experiment. I can click to expand the dimension and see the impact of this experiment on page loads for different pages. Common use case for count metrics are page views, clicks, or anything that is generic event counting. The second type of basic metrics is value metrics, so it includes sum and mean. For sum and mean, we need a metric source, and we also need a value column. Sum metrics will aggregate the sum of the metric value at a unit level, then aggregate it across the experiment population. Mean metrics are calculated using the delta method, as the sum of the numerator divided by the sum of denominator in each experiment group. Common use cases for sum and mean are, for example, revenue, time spent, aggregating records from a pre-aggregated daily data source. You can easily check the definitions in our documents.